Welcome back to the channel, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share to anybody that doesn't know anything that's going on right now and they need to be red-pilled immediately before November 5th. So today, since we are the curb stomper of narratives, we are going to take a look at mainstream media and what they're saying, this and that, how their lies are affecting people, and, just kind of calling their BS out like we do. And hopefully we can get a good laugh out of it because they're always so pathetic. We're going to take a look at the coverage surrounding Hurricane Helene and how Biden has just kind of not really been doing much, but, other people have been doing a lot.
A reckless and irresponsible and relentless promotion of disinformation and outright lies about what's going on. It's undermining confidence in the people of Florida.
Why do you think Trump is spreading misinformation?
I don't know. I simply don't know. You can speculate, but I just find it, I've used the phrase more than I've used it ever in my whole career, un-American. It's un-American. It's not who the hell we are. What are they talking about?
Now, this is so predictable. So Floridians are focused on survival, not politics. So she jumped on the disinfo bandwagon.
Are we concerned about any misinformation or disinformation regarding evacuations that we need to clear up at this point?
There's been a lot of misinformation out there, Madam Vice President, that's for sure.
But what is all of this misinformation they're so worried about?
Former President Trump has led this onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. It's simply not true.
Oh, wait. Where did Biden find people saying that property is being confiscated? Well, after some digging, we found the White House sourced a single Twitter account with fewer than 5,000 followers for that bit of misinformation. So if anyone is amplifying disinformation from fringe sources, it's the Democrats themselves and Biden.
There is a significant amount of misinformation being spread.
They are keenly aware of the misinformation that is currently circulating on all corners of the internet.
It's something that is obviously so concerning to the administration, and we're really seeing the effects of it.
And again, what are they basing this on?
The way that I've heard people discussing this storm, I spoke to an elderly woman who told me that she believed that this hurricane was geoengineered.
Okay, so now one random woman that he ran into makes a CNN disinformation narrative? They documented their slow-footed response to Hurricane Helene.
We just feel like we're being forgotten. We haven't received any response from FEMA.
We're not getting the amount of support that we need.
We haven't seen FEMA. We haven't seen Red Cross. We haven't seen Hearts with Hands. We've seen no agencies come through here.
There's so much more that could be done, and giving us $750 if you can even apply for it is ridiculous. $750 isn't going to do anything even if you do get approved.
First, FEMA did neglect residents in areas ravaged by Hurricane Helene as exposed by the victims themselves. And it wasn't until they started speaking out and Elon Musk publicly criticized the trouble he was having getting his Starlink terminals dropped into affected areas that things finally started improving. Second, DHS Secretary Mayorkas literally told us they were running out of money for FEMA hurricane assistance.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
Third, FEMA allocated over $640 million this year alone to sheltering migrants. So combine this with other money that DHS, which oversees FEMA, has already spent on resettling migrants since 2021. And we're talking billions. We don't even know how much, but billions and billions of dollars since Biden and Harris took office. And this money, of course, should be spent and allocated to shoring up disaster management for Americans, not on illegal aliens. Fourth, In addition to the billions for the care of migrants, Kamala just boasted about $157 million that her administration greenlit to go to Lebanon.
So Kamala, instead of actually helping any of these people, she's too busy going around and doing all this media press tours, going on Howard Stern, going on The View with all the old, ugly hags and slave owner, race hustling Sonny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg. Absolute worst. She's too busy doing all this instead of actually going and helping these people. So now we're going to get into Wokie, the Wokie meltdown. And this is the second time this week this has happened on CNN. Dude. They just cannot remain objective. They always have to put their media bias in there. And you guys just suck, dude. You guys are terrible. Rumors are always so scary, and only Democrats can tell rumors. Republicans, they're not allowed to spread any rumors, and even if they are, they're not corroborated. You know, on the illegals, don't ever talk about the illegals. It doesn't matter. It's like, dude, America is pissed. They are fed up with this, dude. She keeps doubling down on these lies. Mayorkas, he's a fucking loser. Like, fuck this guy, man. He's completely sold this country out. This admin is a complete joke.
From the Trump campaign is Trump's national press secretary for the campaign, Caroline Leavitt. Caroline, thank you for coming on. And the congressman there, he said that he doesn't necessarily like all that FEMA is doing, but he pointed out that it's damaging the rumors that that is what is happening, the rumors that are circulating. And with regard to that, things that the former president has said is FEMA funds were stolen to be used to house illegal migrants, that no one from FEMA was on the ground in North Carolina, that funds were being withheld from Republican areas of the state on purpose. None of that is true. The head of FEMA says that worse than it not being true, it is dangerous that if this is pushed and circulated for the people who are most in need of help. With that knowledge, is the former president going to stop saying this?
What are they claiming is disinformation? Number one, FEMA is seizing property. Trump never said that. Number two, people wouldn't get more than $750. Trump never said that. Oh, and then the migrant money. That came from them. Mayorkas said FEMA was going to run out of money for hurricane season. And FEMA admitted they wasted $1 billion on migrants. Now, I'm not great at math. If I were, I'd work on Wall Street. But if you spend too much money on one thing and don't have enough money for another thing, that means you messed up. But if someone's making crazy claims on the internet about FEMA, so what? The president of the United States shouldn't be amplifying it at a press conference. No one had ever heard about most of this misinformation until Biden repeated it in front of the nation. All of this silliness is designed to distract the media from covering Biden's failure in North Carolina. He makes the story about Trump, so the story's not about him. And the media just goes along.
It is, you don't think American people care where the money comes from. You think it is bad that they're using FEMA money to house migrants. Ironically, Donald Trump attempted something very similar to what he falsely now is claiming about them. In 2019, Trump used let me finish. Trump used money from FEMA's disaster fund for migrant programs at the southern border. He told Congress that he was intending at the time in 2019 to shift $271 million from DHS, including $155 million from FEMA's disaster relief fund, to pay for detaining and transporting undocumented immigrants. Less than that was transferred from less than the $150 million was transferred. But money was transferred by Donald Trump in 2019 in the Trump administration from the FEMA disaster relief fund to house migrants. So is he then okay with moving disaster relief funds for dealing with migrants, but now is not? Is that
So she's lying again here. Trump only used 38 million, less than 40 million, and he used it to get the illegals out of the country. Nobody's pissed about that. Nobody's up here crying that, oh my God, you used $40 million to get the illegals out. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want to get these freaking illegals out. These people committing crimes. These people raping the women of America. These people molesting people's kids. We want them out. Nobody has a problem with him deporting these people except these unhinged activists. that love chaos and hate this country.
Donald Trump did that in 2019, his administration.
President Trump did not allow an invasion of illegal immigrants into our country again and use billions of dollars to fund them in housing, to put them into luxury hotels. What he did do is use federal funding to deport them back to their home countries, which is something that Kamala Harris is refusing to do. And she has still yet to answer the question that if she is elected president in 28 days, what is she going to do with the 20 million illegal people that she has allowed into this country, including the convicted criminals? We know there's 425,000 convicted criminal illegal aliens in this country today. Kamala has yet to say whether or not she will deport them or keep them here and continue to use federal funding to house them and to give that, subsidize their lifestyle on the taxpayers' dime. President Trump won't tolerate that. He's going to launch the largest mass deportation operation in American history, and he will ensure that American citizens are being put first by their federal government, that their tax dollars are going to them in times of need. And this is not the first time we've seen the White House and the Biden-Harris administration botch a crisis. We saw it in Afghanistan. They left Americans behind there. We saw it in East Palestine, Ohio, where Kamala Harris never visited and Joe Biden took months to actually go to tour the devastation from the train derailment. We saw it in Maui, Hawaii, where residents are still saying the federal government was not there to help them. This situation is no different, and we will take the word of residents in North Carolina and Florida and Georgia who have been left behind over the word of this administration, which has repeatedly been caught in lies.
Also, the word of a Republican member of Congress who says that these rumors that Donald Trump has been pushing, in part, the things he's been saying is not true. You say that you haven't heard Kamala Harris answer a question. I'm just going to leave it here. But I'm not hearing you answer the question of why it was okay for the Trump administration to use disaster relief funds in order to deal with migrants in 2019, and it is now completely not okay and something he's hitting the administration on now. We're going to leave it there because I offered you 3 times to give me the answer, and I'm not getting it. We'll talk more. Thank you. John?
Wokie Tinkerbell loses it after she can't gaslight her. She starts having a complete melty, and she cuts the interview. She cuts it because she can't gaslight her enough to get her to just... This is the second time this week. I did an earlier video on Dana Bash doing the same thing when she started to have her complete, malfunction. If she were an actual journalist and did her job, she'd know that these people are very upset with how Biden's administration is handling this. But she's not a real journalist. She's just trying to provide a narrative, and that's why we curb stomp their narrative. Alright, guys, so check out the new merch. Dissenter Designs. The Diddy one's coming next. Diddy one's on the way. Take that. So comment, share the video, guys. Thank you for stopping by, and I'm out.